All right, so today I have another book. However, Ms. Sharp is going to read this book to us. And this is a very important book because it talks about some of the challenges that girls can face in the world. And so we're going to look at some famous girls from our history, and we're going to see what challenges they faced, okay? This is a fantastic book called She Persisted. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. There we go. Called She Persisted. And persisted is a word that means kept going. So we're going to listen to the story of 5 amazing women who persisted. This book is longer than 5 women. However, we're going to focus on a few a week. Reflect on how they struggled and what they did to persevere. So how did they keep going? Use the note or recording, video recording, or a draw tool to share how you think one of them struggled and what helped them keep going. So you're going to choose one woman from today's book, and you're going to share how you think they struggled and why do you think they kept going? How were they able to do that? Okay, so it's going to be a fun little creative assignment as well as very informative. So we will listen to Ms. Sharp read us this video or this book. And again, we're only going to read from 5 women today. Okay, here we go.
Sometimes being a girl isn't easy. At some point, someone probably will tell you no, will tell you to be quiet, and may even tell you dreams aren't possible. Don't listen to them. These 13 American women certainly did not take no for an answer. They persisted. Harriet Tubman was born a slave, and her story could have ended there. Instead, she persisted, escaping from slavery and becoming the most famous conductor on the Underground Railroad. She risked her life many times to lead countless slaves to freedom, including her family, friends, and strangers. Every person she led to freedom arrived safely. I should fight for my liberty as long as my strength lasted. Once Helen Keller became blind and deaf as a toddler, few people thought she'd be able to read, write, or speak. But she persisted. Helen learned how to do all 3, and not only because the first person with deaf blindness to graduate from college, but she used her story to help fight for more opportunities for people with disabilities, the United States and around the world. One can never consent to creep when one feels an impulse to soar.
So you're noticing on the right side are quotes. So we saw a quote from Harriet Tubman and we saw a quote from Helen Keller. So these are real words that they said as well.
After her family fled poverty and the threat of violence in Ukraine for a home in New York City, Clara Lemlich got a job working at a garment factory. She wrote that the factory's conditions made women into machines, and so she persisted, organizing picket lines and strikes that ultimately helped win better pay, shorter hours, and safer working conditions for thousands of workers, both women and men. I am one of those who suffers from the abuses described here, and I move that we go on a general strike. Nellie Bly became a reporter in part because a male writer had said that working women were a monstrosity, and she wanted to prove that women could do anything. At times putting her safety at risk, she persisted throughout her career in exposing real monstrosities, pretending to be a sweatshop worker and a patient in a mental hospital to show how badly people were being treated. I have never written a word that did not come from my heart. I never shall.
One more.
Inspired from an early age by her brother's childhood illness, Virginia Apgar was determined to be a doctor, long before many girls had such dreams. Even though she qualified to be a surgeon, the male head surgeon at her hospital discouraged her because she was a woman. Nevertheless, she persisted, becoming an anesthesiologist and creating the APGAR score to test a newborn baby's health, which hospitals all over the world still use today. Nobody, but nobody, is going to stop breathing on me.
All right. So these are 5 women, and you'll have access to this on the Seesaw assignment, that persisted in our history. So when things were hard, when they were told their dreams were impossible, when they were told it would be too difficult, they kept going. They persisted. Your assignment today is going to be to reflect on how these women struggled and what they did to persevere. So what do you think they did so they didn't give up? What kept them going? And again, you get some creative freedom. You can use the note, the video recording, or the drawing tool to share how you think they struggled and what helped them keep going. Okay, so you're going to share what the woman struggled with and how you think she kept going. Okay? Okay. Aiden G.
Is it kind of like the main idea thing?
This could be related to main idea because you're choosing the way that that one of the women struggled and how she kept going. And that's what the main idea of the text is that different women in history persisted. Great connection. So you're going to choose one woman's main idea and record that. Great. What other questions about this? Levin.
What about the details?
So you can talk about the details and however you choose to show your work. You could talk about them on your video if you choose to make a video. You could draw a picture of them. You could record them in your notes with typing or with the writing tool. Yeah, you're going to record the details of how you think one of these women struggled and how you think she kept going. So what was it that made her not give up? Okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, release to you at 8:42. It should be in any second. So go ahead and minimize your Zoom tab and open up your Seesaw tab in the background. So we're not logging off. You're going to stay on, but you're going to open up your Seesaw tab. When you open up your Seesaw tab at 8:42, that activity will pop up there and you will see the video that you can record or that you can watch again. I apologize, the video that you can watch again. You will also see the work directions for you to complete. Okay, so this assignment is called She Persisted. All right, and let's see, it should be at those activities now. She Persisted Part 1. All right, so go ahead and start working. Let's take 17 minutes. We'll come together at 9 o'clock and we'll have a few of you share your work, okay? So you're choosing one woman that persisted and you are going to record in some way what struggle you think she had and how you think that she kept going. How did she persist? So we have now completed our work, and if you haven't, you can take some time during one of your work times later to complete this or to add more. We are going to share a few examples of some women that we have seen persist in our history and how we know that they kept going. So I will share mine with you here. There we go. So this is mine. I'm the sample student. And I chose Virginia Apgar because, as you guys know, I just recently had a baby. And my baby, like the book told us, got that Apgar score. So the Apgar score is a way to know how your baby is doing, if they're healthy, if they're meeting the usual expectations and requirements. So I have drawn Virginia here in her doctor's outfit. And we know that she became a doctor before women were really allowed to do that. And some things that I put inside of her thought bubble were things that I thought she might have said to herself to keep persisting. So I think Virginia probably told herself that no other child should have to suffer, because our text told us that she watched her brother be very sick. She said, I know I can do this. So she knew that she had the ability, so she wanted to stick with it. I think she probably said, if I can help, then I must. And I said that because inside of the text, we saw a quote from her that said, no one will die on me. So we think that she knows that she can help prevent children and babies from dying unnecessarily. And then also this will make a difference. And then over here, I drew some cute little babies that are happy. They're saying, yay, because they have the APGAR score to help monitor them and make sure that they develop appropriately and can get help when they aren't. So this is my Virginia APGAR persistence drawing I chose to draw today. All right, is there anybody who is comfortable with sharing their work? Anybody who would like to share their persistence work? All righty. Terrence, go ahead, bud. Did you want to share your work? All righty, go ahead and share your screen. We'll take a look at who you chose, which woman in history. All right, looks like you've created a recording.
She couldn't do nothing because the people that were around her were saying that she is too young and she couldn't do nothing. So then she persisted and thought to herself, I can do this. I never give up. And that's the reason why Helen Keller didn't give up.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Terrence. So had that same kind of thing, shared her thoughts and thought, I can do this, and didn't give up. Excellent. I want to give everybody an opportunity. Did anyone else want to share their work of which woman from history they selected and why they think that lady never gave up? Anybody want to share? Anton? Okay, so let's hear your video.
Go home because she never had no job to be in.
Okay, so chose not to give up because she didn't have the job that she wanted yet. I think that's what I heard, and she wanted to keep going until she got some. All right. Okay, so I want us to continue to keep these women and other women. Next week, we will learn about a few more women in our history who persisted, who kept going even though they were told no for various different reasons, and they made a difference in our nation's history. I'd also like for you to be thinking about what it is that you want to do that's going to make a difference in our nation's history, because you have that power. And if you have a great idea that you think would help other people, I want you to live that idea out and never let it die. Okay, share that idea with other people and take time to think about how you can make that idea even greater and even bigger. And we'll continue to see other ideas from women as we move on throughout the next few weeks.